Good afternoon and welcome to another exciting edition of Itches and Voices. We're very glad to have you today. Itches and Voices is a program brought to you by NAPV, Network for the Advancement of People with Disability, a non-governmental organization here in Benin City. And today we'll be diving into the conversation on sexual and gender-based violence. This will be the beginning of a series that we'll be having on this program. And to help us do justice to our hearing impaired community, we have Goodluck Omosi as our sign language interpreter. And for our guest for today, we have the incredible Ronke Ojekere. Welcome very much, Matu.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, viewers.
Thank you. And to dive straight into our conversation, we'd like for you to tell us what you do to stand the ground for the conversation.
Thank you very much. My name, as introduced, is Ronke Ojekere. I'm the initiator of Society to Heighten Awareness of Women and Children Abuse, a non-governmental organization that is recognized by the United Nations. I'm also a member of the Edo State Gender-Based Violence Management Committee. We work on issues centered around the vulnerable persons, women, children, the youths, and the elderly.
Oh, that's amazing. And you said you helped. Is it just on sexual-based violence?
No. We do everything that concerns GBV. We do things that concern empowerment of young persons and adults. We work on advocacy and awareness creation. We go into communities, we sensitize and educate the populace on the general well-being of everybody.
Okay, that's very beautiful. And first of all, I'd like to ask, based on your experience so far, what would you say is the current situation in our country based on sexual and gender-based violence?
People normally ask me whether I think GBV issues or sexual and gender-based issues are on the increase or whether they are on the decrease. Well, I would say thank God for programs like this. People are now aware that they can come out and speak up and that they will get justice. The days of silence, silence is what has actually played a dominant role in why many people have not been reporting. But right now, with programs coming up and people going into the hinterlands to talk to children particularly, we have taught them that they shouldn't be afraid to come out to speak up when things happen to them. So now there's an increase in awareness, there's an increase in reportage, there's an increase in a follow-through. Because people who come out to report, like we know, most times they are reporting, but do they really want justice? Many a times when we start off cases, you find that they chicken out. One, because they feel there's going to be stigma, they feel there's going to be name blaming and all of that. Then they look at the issues of culture and tradition. Yes. They also look at the issues of religion. But since we have this constant awareness creation, what we do is we go into the rural communities, we go into places and we educate the heads, community heads. So those community heads now do know that cases should not be settled in their palaces or in their homes using goat or fowl to appease the gods. We always say to them, let justice be the one to tell you whether the man is guilty or not, or the woman is guilty or not. So by and large, at least people are beginning to have faith in the justice system. We have also been able to tell the DPOs at police stations that things are not, especially sexual and gender-based cases, are not supposed to be settled in the police station. Sexual and gender-based issues, we all know, are criminal offenses. Yes. So if you do the crime, you must be ready to pay for the crime. So we have that increased awareness, and so Children are coming out, they are speaking up. Parents themselves are no more agreeing to being compensated for rapes and all that. So, and then with the VAP law in existence, so now it's now simplified. So everybody now can tell you. They may not be able to tell you the sections per se, yes, but at least they know that there is a law binding on this on whatever it is they are reporting.
Okay, yeah. Wow. Thank you very much for that. And also, let's dive more into persons living with disabilities. You mentioned about how societal, they try to most times settle cases in maybe community halls and in palaces and not want to bring it to the appropriate place where justice will prevail. So I want to ask, in your experience too, have you worked with like persons with disability that came to report sexual and gender-based?
Absolutely, yes. Okay. Because you know that inclusivity is one thing, yes, that we preach about. And when you say inclusivity, what do we mean? We are adding everybody. It's not just the abled. We are looking also at the persons living with disability. Have I worked or have I had issues where I had to intervene with people living with disability? Yes, a lot of them. I have had sexual cases where persons living with disabilities have been raped. I have had persons living with disabilities come to make reports on gross domestic violence. You understand? So they know, that community knows that when anything happens to them, with networks like yours and DonorPid, you know, they know where to reach out to people. Even if they do not know, the heads of the networks know who to see and who will help drive their cases. For me, for example, my organization covers the entire Edo North, and we have cases that come in from Edo North of persons living with disabilities who have been raped, who have faced one form of domestic violence or the other. Very recently, we had a case that came up where the person who was living in disability was being maltreated, and the DPO of that community, I'm not mentioning names, yes, was trying to sweep it under the carpet. And the president or the chairperson of DonorPid reached out to me, and I said to her, don't worry. And you know, we all put machineries in place, and at least the perpetrator was brought to book. So wow, because these things are in existence, and mind you, the president of DonorPid is also a member of the Edo State Gender-Based Violence Management wow, Committee. So there's a synergy of everybody working in that space. So if you cannot handle it, you know who to go to, and that person, if that person cannot handle it, they know who to go to. That, like I said, the community heads have done a lot of good, because even them, many of them are educated people, thankfully. So they know what the law says concerning issues like this, and they know that they must not settle cases in their domain. So by and large, we will continue to see more reportage, but whether or not, like you were asking me, do I see a reduction in this thing? No. We will continue to. It may not be in my generation. It may not be in your generation, but we will continue to see more reportage, and we will continue to see improvements in our laws and improvement in having people come out to speak up, because your voice actually is your trump card.
Wow. Thank you so very much. We've been having an amazing edition so far, and I've been learning so very much from what Ronke has been saying so far. But we're going to go on a very quick break, and when we come back, we'll continue on the conversation. Thank you. Welcome back on that very quick break. We'll be continuing on our conversation. And Ma, you made mention of partnership within organizations and people knowing if they can't solve this, they know who to reach and what to do. So Ma, I want to ask, who when you're referring to a case or solving a case, does it stop at your center, or what's like the process that it goes through, and some other ministries, or should I say societies, that work with you guys?
Like I said, we are an organization, and we work with the police.
Okay.
For cases like rape cases. We cannot handle rape cases, so we work with the police. We work with the Edo State GBV Center.
Okay.
We work with the ministry.
Okay.
For in case we have sheltering to do, we work with them. We work with network like yours. You know, we have our partners. We have our referral pathway. Depending on the cases that we are handling at a particular time, we know where which case is going to. If it's from the local government, we know how to channel the cases from the local government, and then it trickles down to the state. But one thing we know is that we cannot handle it all.
Alone, yes.
Once you have that behind your head that, listen here, you can't handle this case, the best thing to do, rather than keep the case on your table and let it just be there and you are not making a headway, push it out and let somebody who is best. The line ministries are there. We have Ministry of Justice, we have Ministry of Women Affairs, that is the umbrella body of many of these issues. Then we have Ministry of Justice for the justice thing. We have the police. So when cases come, especially criminal cases, when they come, we just push it out. We push it out and let the appropriate line ministry or organization handle it.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's beautiful. And still talking about persons with disability, would you say that the experience is different when handling a case for an able person and a person with disability, or you say the response you give and the way you handle the cases, are they the same, or there's a difference when it comes to handling cases of persons with disabilities?
First thing I do is, the person living with disability, is that person a human being? Yes. Once you have that person is a human being, then the next thing you do is, the person, depending on that form of disability. I have had somebody with hearing impairment, right? And although I do not have a sign writer or anybody, but I noticed that one person that came to me was watching my mouth as I was talking. And then I know that person was educated to an extent. So what did we do? I don't have a sign writer who she'll be looking at, so I brought out a jotter, and I first told her on the jotter, this is what I am going to be doing. Okay. And I explained to her that she shouldn't be afraid that her report is going to leak somewhere else. I want her confidence. And I now said to her, please tell me your story. And then she told me her story, and I wrote, and she read, you know. And when it was like, I wasn't getting what she was saying. Yes. You could see that.
Yeah, the look on her
that
face.
That resentment. No, this is not what I said. So I said, okay, explain to me again. And she did, right? I have worked with the visually impaired, you know, and they had a guard. And I was talking to that person with the middleman interpreting. But the most difficult case that I have had was somebody, I can't remember, was she? I think she was both, either deaf and dumb, or you understand. So it was it was pretty much difficult. And the person who brought her to me also had limited, so it was, but many a times we've been able to get, if not 100% success stories with it, we've been able to get maybe 60%, which is also a pass mark. You understand? And many still come back. Many still come back to say what is happening and how they have been able to move on and all of that. But one thing I do not do is I do not express sympathy. I don't do it like, oh my goodness, no.
Can you share more light on
what I do is, people will say, is this woman human? Why would she say she's not sympathetic to the... Yeah, no. What I do is, I hear you. I understand what you are saying. I feel you. Not, oh my goodness, I have noticed in the course of my interactions, even with the abled people, I have noticed that when you start telling them, oh my goodness, and you start feeling sorry for them,
it might affect the
yes, so I make it easier on my part to be able to say, listen here, I hear you. I understand what I understand what you are saying. I do not say I understand what you have gone through. It didn't happen to me. So I cannot understand the kind of trauma that but I understand what you are trying to say to me. Don't worry, you'll get justice. We'll see to it that we'll put all hands on deck to ensure that things get better for you. Yes, those are the kind of things that I'm more empathic than sympathetic towards issues like that.
There's actually a difference.
Yes.
So on cases when people come with AIDS, how do you guys ensure that the communication is like for real and sincere? For instance, if a hearing impaired person or a speaking impaired person comes to report a case, most times they come with aid. How do you guys ensure? Because I think we're talking about a case where somebody said they were doubting if the person speaking on behalf of the person with a disability was actually sincere. On cases like that, how do you guys solve or attend to matters like that?
If the person who is reporting has some level of education, many times I want that aid to just sit back. That's why I say I have a jotter and we write. Even if the person's tenses are not correct, I'd rather have that person. It is only when that person is visually impaired that I will now rely on what I'm being told. But many times those people actually come with people who have a genuine interest at heart. Yes, that's what happens. But many times I don't see people who come with them as people who are not genuine to their cause. I don't see them.
Okay, I think that makes more. And then we'll be asking, I'm talking about the stigmatization and the social attitude towards these cases. Have you guys experienced a case whereby some people had to bring a halt to the whole process because of the stigmatization and societal attitude towards their case?
I had somebody who came to me and said she had reported a case, and whoever she was reporting to said, you will be like this.
Oh my goodness.
I think that person was just being flippant. But you're not happy, say, person touch you. And I was moved. Although I just sat there listening, because like I said to you, I never like to show, And she was telling me, ah, no, 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 that she felt very bad. She was now thinking, is it because I'm like,
yeah,
ma'am,
you know, actually.
But it touched me. It touched me that I'm like, can people be so insensitive? Somebody is reporting a case to you, and you are saying, you are not even happy that somebody put you in the house. You understand?
Yes.
But I could not judge. I was not there. I don't know the person. The person who was reporting to me was neither. This one just had movement impediments and all of that, and it was a bad case, you know.
Yes.
But at least she was still correct. She was intelligent and all of that. So, and she was telling me, and she said, no, 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 no. So I said, no, don't worry. It's going to be a different ball game. So I always say to people, if you are not cut out to listening with people with disabilities, do not for any reason go into it. Because the last thing they don't want is being reminded of their disability.
Yes. Yeah. Well, thank you very much. It has been a very exciting program today, and on this topic I wish we had more time to go more into it. But ma'am, before we'll be rounding up very soon, is there any short message you want to pass out to people at home on this topic? A very quick one.
People living with disability, know that you are not alone in the fight. If anything happens to you, reach out to somebody. If that person cannot help you, that person will reach out to somebody who will also reach out to you. And if you do need assistance for anything, you know where to go to. If you don't know where to go to, just talk to somebody.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Thank you very much, ma. It was exciting to be in the studio today. And by the way, remember, this is NABVID, Network for the Advancement of People with Disability, and our office is at 34 Aresa Street off Sankwamba Road. In case at any point you need to reach out to us, you can come to our location. Thank you very much for sticking with us. Remember, this is Itches and Voices. Until next week, spot a itch and be a voice. Thank you.
ITV, certainly the best.
ọba àtọ́jú ọba àtọ́pẹ́. Ojúde aṣáájú ọba àtọ́pẹ́. Ọ̀yọ̀bá sókè ọba àtọ́pẹ́. Ọ̀dọ̀yẹ̀ àtọ́jú ọba àtọ́pẹ́. Ẹgbẹ̀túwà.
ITV, certainly the best.
ITV, certainly the best.
Ọ̀yá bọ́tà náà
Gibo Tawise anyway. And my Bacandina or Irum. Woirum only my Aguaca. Already out there. Victor Bisugbe. My Babaca and Vena. I don't book here.
I don't know what the levels of moon. Irum Mahaguaca, and I made Runa, even know what, I know. Oh, no man, I live home. Was I born of him with my hair about talk bay?
He said, no, so I wasn't getting you. Nor the other by your high, or do your affair. But let's do to what you everything you work in Risi. Was I no boy would or be your bit one. No give better what you affair. You want to die him, my affair. And when you matter, no man or all, nor here you are, you know. No banner wuna. Kate, are your banner not a government or well. Okpewulu sábàrán jẹ náà rí èyí sí yọ òyàn náà yà dọ̀lẹ̀ wò náà yìí èyí iná náà ọbẹ̀ dó ya fẹ́rẹ́ ọgbà ọrọ̀ tẹ́dọ̀ ya fẹ́rẹ́ sàlùgbà náà jẹ tọ̀nà jẹ pẹ̀ náà gé ìnà má rárí ẹ̀gbọ́n ni mànìwé gáì kí mànìwé gáì ya fẹ́rẹ́ èyí nà má rìnà má ọ̀rọ̀ adì màrí ọ̀yà ọba àtọ̀pẹ̀ ọ̀tẹ̀mẹ̀ èyí nà má gbà kànáà. Or Erun. Boy Erun Nebute prayer. Erun or Masse in your affair. I really Erun or Masse. Erun won't say. Erun anyone. Beno Yari here. Beno Saroboya Mama here. Or your panel hero. Erun Kaya I say or woman Agbo. No Sarobari no ma. No ya agua. E Bible ni mageni ehun e ya fere. Iye re ro ndauza no de ma we gwa kan e no ye. So pa ehun ma gwa kan na. Ehun ke ya o dowesi. No pi agben, nu ga agben, na ogben, na yawe no ma. O pa no ba sese me se ehun a ya re ne ho re do eyo. Ehun náà ẹ̀kìnàdó ehun náà náàdó ẹ̀kìnàdí ẹ̀yẹ ẹ̀kí ọmọ náà ẹ̀kí ìwò náà ẹ̀kí ìnáwíyákí ìwẹ̀mú ẹ̀ ehun àyàdóyàfẹ́ ehun ọ̀sẹ́mi ìyàwó gbẹ̀dàgbọ̀n wọn náà ìmọ̀ àyà máa ẹ̀ òdẹ́ yàfẹ́ rẹ̀ lọ ehun sábà ìjà tí yẹn ni mà ehun ọ̀pàṣẹ tí ya ìfẹ́ wòríà ehun ẹ̀ màgbà kanáà. Anyway, we both are ready now. Attend Victor Bisugbe.
Baba Bewao. Ehun. Owe ehun mus opia na ya gbode. Ehun no ma pàtàkì ewa no. Nda owe ehun ga mudia ni yoku to bun opia. O ga mudia no rede to bun ram. Ehun na ase no salo bo ahi ni do wa dogo no. Wa nu de no gba wo na samu ba meze ga mudia ni yo ko to bon pio ga mudia no rede to bu ran ze ni carry taibon o ma ko ma nu me e ko ni mani ehun aya nemi ehun aya no salobu ayin o ma pa kankan wa pagbo wa ti salobu dori e ona mi tu digwe uneru winia baba wo na me enu o ke ya ebi no ka ke ni ra o ya asu mu o ka ke iye o ya asu mu mimma ma be yeru ma ja asu egbe na do mi we eri magwalo o ma si ma obo enu na wa tana ase no kwa oruwe hu da we na una gwehu na na eni rire lowo mo ku la mo to unehu sarebwa suwere urigbo unehu ege ya gbakere odugbo uri eki kiniri na enoro egun emi ehun no kwa ewa ni mami o ma nenehu oye wo ma no ma ebe na aya nne o sarebwa eri he ọ̀rá rẹ̀ ìkẹfẹ́ ìwẹ̀ ìwẹ̀ ẹ̀bọ̀rọ̀ ìga ọ̀rẹ́ náà lọ́ọ́ yà á nù ẹ̀ wàá yóò sáwọ́ ẹ̀bọ̀ wẹ́ẹ́ ló ní ènìyàn wọ́n máa sáwọ́ ẹ̀bọ̀ ọ̀rẹ́ máa fi gbọ́ ẹ̀ ọ̀rẹ́ ìdìgbò lérú ọ̀rẹ́ nà ẹ̀bọ̀ náà dówó náà mi ẹ̀bọ̀ náà dówó náà mi ọ̀nà wàá yẹ ìrìnàmì ìhù yìí ẹ̀rù má gbé hùdàwẹ̀ ọ̀mà nẹ́ẹ̀nẹ́rù èṣù ẹ̀yìn nù ọ̀wọ̀n nẹ́ẹ̀nẹ́rù èṣù mami osalobọ náà yẹ níwọn àmà àìrèdè ọ wọn ni màá igbó náà nírú ni màá mèké náà mi dẹkọdẹ náà yà náà yìí ní ẹbẹ bọwọ náà wà á ti àrèrà nírú ní mèké náà sùn náà ọba àtọpẹ.
iṣẹ ẹniwọn wọ́n dá ẹ̀rọ náà ta ọwọ́ ẹ̀kẹ́lẹ́ òde yáde èrò wọn àná àyàsí wọn ẹ̀rọ panáyà nírú ẹniwọn ẹ̀. Ehun orí sẹ́yìn ya fẹ́ ehun ọ̀rẹ́ máa ta ló sàlọ́pọ̀ ya wòrò ya fẹ́ fúnpá ká àwọn ọlọ́wọ́ yọ ẹ̀yìn rẹ̀ nù ọ̀rọ̀ yíwẹ̀ orí ọ̀nẹ́ ehun orí ọ̀nà òun bẹ̀rẹ̀ ẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n àṣẹ́nà lẹ́lẹ́kẹ́ àbẹ̀yẹ̀ àlérù yèrí èyí náà ló dùnà ọwẹ́ dùnà tọ́wà dùnà ní máa yà ó dùnà ẹrù náà èmi rí aṣọ́bọ̀ ìyàfẹ́ ní ìyá máa wọn ẹ̀wọ̀n mọ́dọ̀ à wúlò wọ̀dọ̀ mami ọmọ bí ẹ̀ gbèrú yárú ẹrù yẹn yà sọ gbèwẹ́ wúlò kọ́ mami ọmọ àmọ́sí ti nẹ̀ kókò wọ́n yà rẹ ẹrù náà ẹkùn wẹ̀ rí ayé wúlò ẹrù yọ̀nùkú ní ìyá máa sẹ́ àṣẹ ní gèlè alẹ́ nẹ̀rù wọn ní kíá ẹkìnà dúnà àbí ní káàtà sí wọ́n yá pàwọ̀ wá ó wà pa onírù gbòòrò wọn yé èyí wẹ̀yìn arúná bọ́ ìdó mẹ́rin ni ìwà dómìnà ọ̀sán ló bọ́ ọ̀sán ló wòdúà bó ṣe náà yọ̀mí gbé bó ti góòlù wẹ́ lérù lámẹ́wẹ́ àfiwòrẹ́ rẹ̀ dàgbọ̀n wọn èrùn ayá mọ́ àgbọ̀n ẹ̀ èrùn erímáyémáyá mọ́ àgbọ̀n ẹ̀ òkú náà hàn má ọ̀nẹ́rù nìyẹn bí ẹnìyẹn mímọ́ nìyẹn mìíràn èyí ẹ̀dà fún ọ̀rẹ́ yé lọ́rọ̀ ìdáná ọmọ nílà ìwọ̀n anábì ọmọ nílẹ̀ èrò wọn ní àyà yóò yà á ná ẹ̀dẹ̀ ni máa zọ ọmọ ìpẹ́dì yìí ni máa zọ ọmọ rẹ̀ dò nà yà á yẹ ni èrò wọn ẹ̀ nọ èrò kí ẹ̀ nọ wé gbèsè náà lèlè máa yá fẹ́ yẹ kíá bẹ́ẹ̀ wọn máa dọ̀ hín wọn náà lérò èrò wọn gbèsè ẹsẹ̀ wọn dá èrò wọn yẹn dàgbèvà ẹ̀ máa wọ́n á lè nọ máa dàgbèvà wẹ̀ èrò wọn rí aná ó sàrọ̀bà kó yọ wẹ̀rẹ̀ yà wẹ̀wù mọ̀dànù yà bẹ̀ èrò kèrò nù ná bẹ̀ dàgbé wẹ̀wẹ̀ lẹ́hùn kèlò yà nù mẹ́kẹ́ náà yẹ nù ẹ̀mìnì mí nà dà òwà mìnì mí nà dà nẹ́yẹsẹ̀ èrò yà kẹ́ni wà ẹ̀ èrò àyà lẹ́gbó àyà lógò èrò ó sàrọ̀bà yìí lórí káta ẹ̀ náwó bábò yàfẹ́ èrò náà èmi ni alákàsẹ̀ tayọ èrù ẹ̀rù ẹ̀mà ìwúsàrò dè máa gùn akẹ́mìnà yẹn sọpá bèrù wọn kí nẹ̀ ẹ̀rù bókí nẹ̀ ètẹ́ bókí nẹ̀ mọ́ni ló wébè bèrù wọn kí nẹ̀ òwú ẹ̀nẹ́ ló wà ní ààrẹ wébò wọ́n ti kó náà lè rú díẹ̀ ẹni èrù wọn ni ọ̀sẹ̀kẹ̀ ní ayé wẹ́ ẹ̀ wà á mà wà ní mímọ́ rógbó yàfẹ́ ẹ̀yà dùnúdẹ́nu wa nọ̀wé ọ̀nàkà oríwé dúgbẹ́ ìrùn sálọ́gbà dúgbẹ́ ìrùn níkà lọ́gbọ́mọ́ ní yóò nọ rẹ̀ ẹ̀ àgbó náà àògò náà àtúwẹ̀hẹ́ àríẹ̀kì wọn alámọ́tọ́ àríẹ̀kì wọn alámọ́tọ́ àríẹ̀hẹ́ ehun ehenu ìmàwọ́ náà yóò wà rẹ̀ wẹ́ kí ehun yé rẹ̀ jágbémà ọ̀kẹ́ pọ̀lọ̀ sísẹ́rẹ́sì yẹ kọ́ àtà lérò sọpọ̀ ehun mẹ́sẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́rọ̀ ọ̀nà òwe wúwẹ́ yà gbọ́ wọn à òwúrọ̀pẹ́ àríọ̀sí ìlú òwúrọ̀ tẹ̀sí wá èyí sọ̀mọ̀ tí sọ̀nà òwà lẹ́nu ìlú àyàgbọ́ déwọ̀n máa ní máa ń ìnáwó ẹ̀rẹ́ ọmọ àwọn òkú ọ̀nà ọrùn ìrè dàrá èyí láàrẹ̀ ọ̀ìfúfùà ehun màgbákanà níwọ̀n ẹ̀ gbòòwò akèwò dẹ ràṣán kèwà van wúkèrè ìwà ẹ̀ gbèsè wá sí yorùbá kàhún ọwọ́ ẹ̀rẹ̀ tó sàlóbọ̀ gbọ́sọ̀rọ̀ bọ́ yọ ọmọnìyà ọ̀ ọ́nà ìlú yọ kiri ìwà ẹ̀ wọ́n sọ náà wẹ́ ní ìwà ẹ̀ ní ẹ̀ ṣe ní àyọ̀ ìgbé náà ọ̀rà ní wọ́n sì ti ní ìwà ẹ̀ ní inú à àwọn tó pọ̀ sàlóbọ̀ wẹ́ yẹn sì ti ní ìwà ẹ̀ inú à àwọn ọ̀nà fi ìwà ẹ̀ ní nẹ́ wẹ́ yẹn fẹ́ yẹn ní ìwà ẹ̀ àríọ́bá náà ní wọ́n sẹ́wọ̀n mi ró owó ìbèrú yé náà ní wọ́n sẹ́wọ̀n yẹn dé ìbèrú rẹ̀ ní wọ́n sẹ́wọ̀n ní tí sàwọ̀ tá máa wọn mara rìn ní yé wọn ó lè rìn lọ́gùn rẹ̀ rárán ẹ̀ èrò wọn ọ̀rí ìdígbàsẹ̀ ìgbé wọn yàfẹ́ àìní ọ̀wà nẹ́rẹ̀ hùn òun ọ̀ èrò òun ọ̀wà ayé ẹ̀rẹ̀ gbé wọ́n ọ̀tẹ̀rẹ̀ bízùgbé.
wọ́n ní wá ìlú kan ẹ̀ ehu ẹ̀ọ́dígbàsẹ̀ ìlú yá fẹ́fẹ́fẹ́ òhun ìtagbọ̀n náà ọmọ ní ehu òun ọmọ ní ọyọ ọmọ ní máa dùn ọmọ ní rírà dùn náà ní ehu ẹ̀ ìlú kan náà wọ́n kọ́ wọn yà yẹ ọ̀bọ tí ó wẹ̀ lélẹ̀ ehu ọ̀rẹ́ ẹ̀tí náà mọ́ ehu ọ̀rẹ́ ẹ̀wà náà mọ́ ehu ọ̀sùn ọmọ abẹ òdẹ̀nà wà bóyá gbèrú wọn yá sùn ọmọ ahẹ́ wọ́n dẹ̀ gbé ẹ̀kọ́ ẹ̀wẹ̀ ẹ̀nà ọmọ ni kẹ́ẹ̀kẹ́ ọmọ àniwẹ̀ lẹ́rù gíní ìyẹn kòkòrò náà kò gbé lọ́mẹ̀kẹ́ náà dèlú fíé wọ́n dẹ̀ wẹ́ ẹ̀rù náà àwòrán kan ẹ̀ẹ́nù ehu wọn wọ́n kọ́ ehu ẹ̀ ṣẹ́ ó sàbọ̀ àgbàgbọ́ yọ ọwọ́ òkọ́ ọ̀nà àmẹ́rù ọ̀gá sí yóò dàn ọwọ́ ẹ̀ sàrẹ́pà pè mí ènìyàn ní ẹ̀yà àdó sísí ní ẹ̀yà àdó ẹ̀yà àgbọ̀ wọn ó sàrẹ́pà pè mí ènìyàn àmà ìwé tọ́ ní ẹ̀yà àdó ẹ̀ ó sísí ni ẹ̀ẹ́bẹ̀ tọ́ àgbọ̀n náà ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀bọ̀ ní sàrẹ́pà rẹ̀ tì yọ wẹ́ èrú wọn ọmọ òkọ́ ọwọ́ ìmọ̀ kàkà bọ́ wá sí oníyẹn lórí họ ọ̀nà wẹ́ the prayer of a wicked person is an abomination. Ìyẹn wo ni ẹ̀ wọ́n?
wọ́n sọ àlébò yẹn.
Ìyẹn dédé wo ni ẹ̀ wọ́n? Ọ̀nì ọ̀sẹ̀ ẹ̀nà amẹ́wẹ́ ojú ni ọma ẹ̀ ayáléhu èyí ni ọma ẹ̀ ọ̀ lè lè hu kíá tí ehu ọ̀hẹ̀hẹ̀ bò ọ̀hẹ̀hẹ̀ tù ọ̀hẹ̀hẹ̀ wá tọ́jú àìmọ́ ọ̀tún wà mú ọ̀yẹ̀ gbèrè àmì ní ọma èyí ni ehu yé ọ̀dígbàgbé. Ọmọ akọ wọn náà yà wọ èmi ọ̀nà yà n'ehu èmi ni yà gbìyàn ọ̀ àgbìyàn ni mọ́mí ọ̀wà ní n'ehu ó yẹ ọ̀nà máa yẹ wẹ òsàrọ̀ wúdà ọ̀sàrọ̀ bọ̀ ayé ẹ̀wẹ̀ yà n'ehu náà yà n'ehu èmi kémi ní wọn kọ́ mọ́ wíyẹn ìgò alọ́ ehu tí yẹ kí abẹ́ hó ehu àmì ẹ̀wù bọ́lú wà dá yìí wọ ọ̀nà ehu ugbe ahụ wọ n'ahịa enyi kevin wee nta anyị onye ọrụ gbogbo olùwò orí ọ̀nà mmanụ ya ka anyị ọfụ ìrọ̀rọ̀ tó ṣẹ̀dá gbòǹwẹ̀ sàrẹ́ bọ́ n'ọmụdị akịma na onye ẹ̀tí ìrì ìwé ìgbò nímọ̀ ni màá tẹ̀tí yàrá lẹ́hùn ọba àtọ́ pẹ̀ ẹ́.
iṣẹ́ ewu ẹ̀rọ màgbọ́n aka níwọ̀n ẹ̀ wẹ̀rọ̀dà ọ̀rẹ́ ẹ̀ ànọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀ náà wà á lè hùwù ẹ̀ bí ẹni òmìnbọn lè hùwù yí wọ́n máa sọ ọ̀bọ́ná wọ́n sì lè hùwù ní máa náà sẹ́ ẹ̀kọ́ wẹ́nu à egbò wẹ́nu à wọ́n lè hùwù yìí pa ní ìhùwù yọ̀pa gbèsò wá ìpè àwọn lè hùwù yọ ọmọdé yọ ehùwù ní dèkè ńlá náà dọ̀wọ́n mọ̀bọ́ wà náà dé ọ̀sálọ́gbọ̀ ọ̀sálọ́dájọ́ ọ̀sálọ́gbọ̀ yọ lẹ́nu wọ́n lè hùwù ní ilé nọmọlá dé yọ ẹnà ọ̀sẹ̀ má so ní ẹ̀zẹ̀ nínú ọmọ ọ̀hún ẹ̀rì ọwọ́ bò ọ̀yà àfíà ọ̀yà àrùjẹsì ọ̀yà àrùyà nílé sìnàzọ́ ni ọmọ pàmò kọ̀kọ́ ọmọ ìwé wọ́n wá wàwẹ́ ẹ̀rìnàwẹ́ ẹ̀mátàn ìran àrẹ́rà òkú rẹ̀ èyà dènù wá ehun ọ̀yẹ́rì náà ehun nàbá ehun ni ọba ehun ni ìwẹ̀ ni ehun náà ni orí ó ní ìrọ̀rọ̀ ọ̀nàgbọ́ ẹ̀ dèkìnà rí ẹ̀yẹ́ rí e àti ìwẹ̀ náà wà wọ́n dàn mọ̀ orí dáadáa ehun ni ọ̀há sẹ́yà ehu kenya ti no anya oho oho ehu da oho epo ewo iye bu iye le to hunda uzaro de magwa kan he hunda ewu wewu ni nyeru yunu ema de yin ni ma uto hero onu we ala oda hero no wa da no we da ge vai e no ma pa ma evo wa mo wa mo bai e ma e no sunu yi umo ge bai gbesa ya mo ye gan yo o ye ma pa ma eva ye a ye re gan ni e ho ye re na owo dua ni ye na e pa eva wa de ma suwe ni ladia ogbe so mi e te ladia ni mo ge bai ya wulo ni ehun ni wa ehun iwe gbe ra e gbe ma na e wa na gbon ero mi o ma ni won hiyo oyo ohun o wa na ge ya osaro bo ari e afian gbe won o wa re ro lowo ma ehun o re so ma wo ehun re o wa re fe ru wa anenu ni ya bige we ula moto no a uye weka udenoa uye ogbonoa aifie eto ani no ye pia fiegbewe we guane ukoka uke tomatoes uke ya uye we leru e suseuna salogba no ge mawo ewu o yi polo se bi gbima ni managbo na se ti mi o wa o ma we gbe so na mi we hu wọ́n yá ìwọ̀n ọ̀sàlógbà rí ẹ̀wọ̀n ni àṣẹ́tí ní ẹ̀wọ̀n èèyàn ma ọ̀sàlógbà rí ẹ̀hùn yìí náà yá agbára ní ẹ̀dàgbọ̀n náà yá agbára ní ẹ̀wọ̀n náà yé wíwẹ̀ nàìjíríà yé na á ní ẹ̀hùn náà ma wíwẹ̀ Edo state yé ká ní ẹ̀hùn náà ma èèmọ̀ ya fẹ́ nìyí mọ̀ ẹ̀ ní kálá ọ̀dà ọ̀là rẹ̀ ọ̀tún ẹ̀yẹ̀ kí á bọ̀ ní ẹ̀hùn.
Awa ehu aiseti kagwe ehu ye eme yiboro yi emi kemi no gbaru kemi huoru ehu na ogba o kawo owo no gwa na ehu e saru gwa wesu owo no gwa na ehu e otimo na ya so we ewu no ma e sari ni ma ehu na e ma ya se ti ya di ai di maare ya di abima di maare ya di aimo di maare ya iwu emi ya awu wo bosa le boa ta bu wo bosa le boa wa ni hu o le no ma pado ka gbe Yorùbá pa ehun me Yorùbá o ma ni wa to ni kankan ehun no me Yorùbá wa ehun era gbo eri ke yi de eri ke mi na ri wa o ta gbe ni afefe ehun na o kawo ehu na am ko down where I mean ni ko down o sare bo si afian gbe o ye nu o you told me o ye nu o ya allow down o ye nu o you money o ye nu ku we kere mo kewa me e dagbu wa o yi se no ma pado ka we o ko ye kan ya wu fero wi e gan awe ni no gbegbe ana we no la ho no si bi Israel ona wa wona wedo nunu salobu wa wona do to bodu neye o salobu na egbu mu eyin ko ni ona igberi yiye bo no ona mi kana ri ori aye ewi no wedo keke riwo ebi ya ni ri ori oyin wi aru opo pamo ri gbe ani eze lapa o salobu na gimo le eze ri ise ni man no salobu ai o kan bi awu ni mo ase ọba àtọpẹ
iṣẹ́ irun ẹ̀yìn màyíra ni wọ́n irun wọ́n mi wá sọ wàárọ̀ ọ̀wà náà o ọ̀wà nánánánánáná ẹ̀yẹ ní ìrìnàgbà lọ́wọ́ dáwọ́ wọn náà wọ́n ní kí òwú ya ìyàfẹ́ ẹ̀nà nánà nílùú lọ àáyá pòrú àáyá rí èrì ládá èrì náà kásùnú dà eraso ni aya ri ato ri akun ehun aya fi ewo ri wa ha àwọn yana be no ra ye o salo gba owo do agi wi lo sunu ege kuwo ke mwe la wona ege la tedona ege la gwa ege la oredo ya se utesa asiya ehun no ni wa do na ye ko ata ni muni to gele so pa esureba no hiya ya fa mawuma uza no de ma gwa kan he oni esu o eyihe ehun o gbesu gbina ehun o agbada o osisi o erikeri na ya gbesu gbina ọ̀wádà ẹ̀bùdà ọ̀tádà ẹ̀mọ́rọ̀ ọwà àgbọ̀n àṣẹ́nu sọlọ́pàá yẹn na wàyá rí àrí ẹ̀yìnà ó sọlọ́pàá náà rí irú ọ̀nà ìrìnà wá na àyà mẹ́wẹ́ ẹ̀wẹ̀ni wọ́n ní ká ọ̀wádà tàdàwẹ̀ gbótó àwú ẹ̀ ó márùn ẹ̀rí rọ̀pà òkúrú wà mí mẹ́fà wọ́ ẹ̀rù kí ẹ̀yìn mẹ́fà ni wọ́n ẹ̀ mẹ́fà ni ẹ̀rọ sọlọ́pàá rárí ní máa yà fẹ́ẹ́ wede era mi ani wa bota na ma yena iru e ma ya mo yoto o tan we be kan bone uto
e do ni agugba de na wuzo mu iru ma dun kan na ne ka gwa le hu we no wo yi ngwa ni hu iru e osu ma pasun e osu ma ravan we ga heru ko da o emi kemi ya we ni boyi te ya hian gbe anu ibi le mo na da to epu ibi da to iku iwe tun ya fẹ́fẹ́ kate ìmọ̀nyìnrẹ́ kábẹ́tù ìmọ̀nyìnrẹ́ igúsà ọ̀fun gbogbo wáyàrọ̀ ní Jésù Kristi náà mi wọ̀n fún ọba àtọ́pẹ́ yìí.
ìṣe èrí mẹ́rin yé mi wá ehù ìwé gètò ẹ̀ ìwọ̀n ya fẹ́ ìmọ̀nyìnrẹ́ dáadé àkó wà ní abẹ́ ìdánwò ní rí ẹgbẹ́ àdórí ọdúnwò ìnírù bẹ̀tọ́sà ló bọ́ àtẹ́nìkà no do na no wa ya fe
so
eyo ni na wo ka yele na be gbe wo na no salobo a na mi we enika no ri e ke dan wa ori ore eyo no ne e wa owo wa na do ri ojo we ya e wo na eyo no e o ka yele e wa na do ri a ka yele so owe etin e wa me ye gu o e wo na ya fe wa maneru egbe mi ni na ro ori owe na okare no saloba ẹni ka mo yan ori wọ́n dùn la ni wa ya fe ni wa go ba do lewo yi ire wo don we we ye wa ni ma we ri odon we no we ri odon ma ye gwa o saloba no we yo bo no wa aka se no saloba ri ni wa ze wo di odun ze we di wa nu do ya ri ege ni o do ari odon we ni no saloba je gba won o dùn la ni wa ya fe awe ejo we o tere no ri pe ọdún nánú wà ya fẹ́ ìyẹn ni rẹ̀ igbó bá ti wà ìyẹn rí gómìnkú wà ìyẹn rí abẹ ìyẹn rí sopọ̀ bá ìyẹn rí òrówó ìyẹn ni rẹ̀ dáadẹ́ wò ya fẹ́ ní masẹ́tì sùnú yìí èyí kan náà la owó bẹ̀ tí wọ́n bá rẹ̀ do ya fẹ́ tọ́ ọdún nánú wà ya fẹ́ rẹ̀ dúnadúná tọ́wá dúnanú wà ya o dúnadúná tọ́wá dúnanú wà ya jò mẹ́. Dúnadúná tọ́lá dúnà nípa yẹ bàbá dúnadúná ọba àtọ́pẹ́ ìṣẹ́.
ITV, certainly the best.
Some days, there comes the Ugemobo Festival, which the Oba celebrates outside the palace gate. A pavilion is built of red cloth where rites are performed to drive away all evil spirits still unsatisfied by the year's sacrifices. The Emobo Festival is to commemorate an event in Benin history which dates back to 1504 AD.
Yari yari, ọba àtọ́pẹ́.
The Oba of Benin added a colorful mood to the year's celebration as he walks round the city center amidst cheers.
ITV, certainly the best.
It's another lovely Wednesday afternoon, and of course it's my pleasure to have you join me on yet another amazing episode of Flipside on Independent Television, reaching you live from the city of Benin. Yes, Flipside is a very unique show that beams its searchlight on some topical issues, especially socio-cultural issues. Okay, so we just take any particular issue and try to beam our searchlight on it and do justice to it. It airs every Wednesday on this station. My name is Harry Aigboje, and of course it's a pleasure to have you join me on this episode of the show. Now, today we're having a very interesting conversation, something that has to do with substance abuse. Now, if you take a look around you, there's one person or the other abusing substance, and this is becoming quite a menace in our society. And until something is done to nip it in the bud, only God knows what the future holds. So we're actually discussing overcoming drug addiction. What exactly is it about substance that, people are so addicted to? That's basically what we're going to be discussing today. And of course, I'm not alone. I've got someone in the house, someone who happens to be very well, grounded in this area. She is a survivor and of course an advocate. So what that means is that she's going to be speaking from a first-person perspective, and of course, giving us some insight on how to deal with drug addiction. By the way, she goes by the name of Osahon Egariba. It's good to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me.
How are you doing?
Fine, thank you.
You look gorgeous. All right, so let's get started, okay? Substance abuse. Nowadays it's hard to tell what's substance and what's not. So how would you define substance? Because some persons will tell you that alcohol is substance. What's your take on that?
For me, I know about drug addiction.
Okay.
For the substance.
But do you also agree that alcohol could be substance as well?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course it is. I see drug addiction, substance, as, I call it a demonic substance. For me, it's demonic.
Demonic. Okay. So you think it's a more serious substance than?
Yes.
Okay, so let's examine some of the topical points here. What are the early warning signs that someone is developing a drug addiction?
Okay,
are there any pointers? Are there any signs to?
Yeah, they are. Amongst so many. I'm going to mention a few, like a drastic weight loss.
Okay, so when somebody suddenly starts losing weight.
Yes, insomnia, unexplained habits, funny habits. Withdrawals, you start staying away from friends, you isolate yourself, just jolts. You start jolting.
Okay.
Some people always itch.
Yeah.
As if it's stuffy. And so some anger issues.
Anger issues?
Yeah.
When you say anger issues?
You just get easily
irritated?
Yeah, irritation. I'll say
that's serious. Are there other signs? Is there any such thing as, let's say, being moody?
Yes, mood swings.
Okay,
I said
mood
yes,
swings.
amongst many.
Getting withdrawn.
Yes.
Okay.
You move away from the crowd, you abandon your friends, because you don't feel like you belong anywhere. Yes, exactly. So you feel body shamed, people are going to ask you questions, and you're always needy. You're always hasty. And so much, a lot of it.
Okay, so let's take a look at some other parts of this conversation. How can peer pressure, because I believe peer pressure is one often overlooked factor that's responsible for peer pressure. But how do you think peer pressure contributes to drug abuse among teenagers and of course young adults?
Well, for peer pressure, I think it's an individual thing because you feel it's caused by lack of contentment, where you compare yourself, You think you're not good enough. You need people to validate you, and it's mostly when you're not self-aware. You don't, you don't know yourself, so you're not satisfied. You want more. Greed. You want to be everyone's favorite. You want to be the pick-me. You want to belong. Yes, you want to belong. So you feel you want to do what others are doing and make money, or just it depends on the sector, where it may be drugs, maybe for making money, doing crimes or anything. So it's when you're not self-aware or the contentment.
So I guess it's safe to say it's unhealthy. It's born out of unhealthy competition.
Yes, and greed.
Greed. I would like you to throw more light on the greed part. When you say it's as a result of greed, does it mean you want to
be everywhere?
Okay, and you want to have much more than you think?
Yes, you want to do not just having anything, but you just want to be everywhere. You want to do what everyone is doing. Yeah.
All right, this is quite a lot, and I'm sure it's going to take some persons a lot to process. But let's examine this one. What role does family background play in the survival of relapse of a recovering addict? Do you think family members have a role to play in helping an addict, first, get free, like break free from drug addiction, and of course, speed up the recovery process?
Yes, a lot.
Okay.
In recovering, especially when they're recovering, let me take that first. You put them back in this sense of belonging. You validate them. You give them the relevance, that they're part of the family, letting them in into the know-how of what's going on in the family. What they say should count. Everyone wants to be heard, seen, noticed. So it's good, to invite them in, and then be patient with the process. Patience is another key.
Why? How so?
Yes, because it takes time, because they have to heal, from where they're coming. Don't start comparing them. See what your mates are doing. See. You want to fast track the healing process. So you have to be patient with people, and then you have to be emotionally mature, to understand that they're acting the way they act. So you don't just, from your own place of, where you're wounded, it's just good you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course I do.
Understand where they're acting from.
Okay, now you are a survivor, okay, and I'm sure you had your own fair share of the struggle we're talking about. So do you care, to give us a glimpse into what your own personal experience was like, with the fight against addiction and all of that?
For me, I used the hard way. Accountability. I gave my life to Christ. And he helped me a lot because the Holy Spirit helped me. And one of the fruits he gave me is self-control. He just separated me from the crowd. The drinking, the smoking, and then it helped me. And then accountability.
What would you say pushed you into substance abuse in the first place? Because a lot of persons have their own personal stories to tell. For you, it's probably different from that other, from somebody else's own, right? For someone else, it could just be that, okay, they felt inadequate at some point in their lives, or they felt rejected by their family members. They didn't feel like they belonged in in their circles, okay? So they thought drug addiction or substance abuse was an escape from their reality. So for you, what would you say prompted you, or should I say drove you into substance abuse?
Trauma. The same for everybody.
Trauma, okay.
Trauma.
You care to share what, caused the trauma?
Not really. Oh, maybe. Nothing just worked. Heartbreaks, so many betrayals, and when it's a collection of
an accumulation of issues. Okay.
Yes, like so it could be a past events, or maybe you experienced an accident happen, a loss of a loved one. Not everybody knows how to handle pain. So it just could be anything. So mine was a collection of so many traumas, heartbreaks, nothing happening, betrayals, failures, so many.
Okay. You just said that for some people it's the struggle to deal with certain realities of the moment, right?
Yeah.
Do you honestly think that substance abuse is a true or formidable escape from such realities?
That's what it is. Like, I call it a demonic substance because there's a spirit behind it. And there's something about that spirit of addiction, drug addiction.
Okay.
It doesn't like reality or to process. You can process other people's lives, but when it's time to process your own life, it tells you, you know, are you sure you can do this? It just brings 3 or 4 hurtful events and you're like, no, not today. Not today. So the major thing it does is just one thing, one job. It has just one job, to distract you of your life's purpose. I mean, completely ruin you. That's what it does. So it's an escape on its own.
Okay.
It doesn't like reality. Yeah.
Okay, but is it a formidable escape? In the long run, does it pay off?
Yeah, for the moment.
For the moment?
Yeah.
Until reality finally sets in.
Exactly. And unfortunately, most of them cannot survive reality.
Most of them cannot survive reality. Well, in case you're just joining us, it is Flipside on Independent Television, and we're having a very interesting conversation today, something that has to do with overcoming drug addiction. And I've got in the house with me Osahon Igariwa, who happens to be a survivor and an advocate. So now she's preaching against substance abuse. Well, we have to go on this very important break, and when we return, the program continues. Please stay tuned.
ITV, certainly the best.
All right, welcome back. It's still Flipside on Independent Television, and we're discussing overcoming drug addiction. I still have with me in the house Osahon Igariwa. All right, hope you're having fun.
Sure.
All right, let's up the ante a bit. How does stigma affect a person trying to recover from drug addiction?
Oh my God, that's the major.
Okay.
You see, unlike HIV and AIDS that used to, have a stigma problem, it's worse.
You think the stigma that goes with drug addiction is worse than that of
worse.
HIV?
Yes, because right now there are preventive measures. You can have a healthy partner, healthy babies, and a very healthy long life. But with addiction, it's terrible. Nobody wants to affiliate with you. Nobody wants to deal with you. You come to people and they start hiding their phones and properties. It's terrible. Nobody wants to have anything to do with you. And if they sin with you, they just tag you along with that person. Or they even say you're crazy, out of your mind, or anything. So it's terrible.
All right. By your assessment, what would you say is the highest level of damage that substance abuse could do to a person?
Losing yourself.
Okay, by losing yourself, you mean losing your identity?
Your identity, everything stripped out. Stripped off. Family, love life, nothing, business, no trust from anywhere. Nobody takes you seriously. In fact, they even they hope that you will relapse someday, so you can't just deal. Even when you try to be the best version of yourself, you're still hoping, I hope you won't relapse. So it's not a final thing to say, okay, you're cured from this thing completely. You just have that thing, behind the minds that you might relapse someday. So it's still a 50-50 thing, dealing with you. It's terrible.
Could it ultimately lead to a mental disorder?
For some people. Yeah.
Okay, and of course I've heard some persons say that substance abuse kills.
Overdose
of it.
Yeah, you can die in any way. You can do crimes. You can get hit by a vehicle when you are high. Anything can happen. So. Okay,
what are the most effective treatment methods for overcoming drug addiction? Okay, because apart from rehabilitation, I really don't know what goes on in rehabilitation homes, okay? I don't know if victims, or should I say addicts, are offered medication or anything of the sort, but, how do you think or what are the most effective treatment methods for overcoming drug addiction?
Okay. So for me, I've never been in any drug rehabilitation center before. I told you. I got saved by...
Yours was more or less supernatural.
Supernatural and divine. I use the word divine.
Okay.
And I've had moments where I was in that community and then people came straight from being discharged right back there in, you know, after flushing their systems, giving them injections or, you know, things to make them sleep. So at the time, I just thought these people just chill out for some time, you know, to get fattened up and then rest and then continue it again. And immediately they leave that facility. From what we all know, there's this, the smell comes to you again. So that's why I said it's demonic. It's actually a supernatural thing.
So is the smell some sort of trigger?
It just finds you.
Okay. So I'm asking if it triggers it. Does it bring it back somehow?
Of course. The smell, you know, just when you're out of that place and come out to reality, you know, the first place you want to visit is that place, you know, to take it again. For mostly, you know, I can't speak for everybody, so I've experienced it there. So for the treatment, for me, what worked for me, I told you, I gave my life to Christ. I took accountability. I became the mirror. I came on air, not air, in the internet to tell people I was on drugs, that Jesus saved me. I gave my life to Christ, and then I built my mental capacity. You know, read books, you know, to help me. You know, and it's good, and it helped so far.
I'm actually glad you made mention of, you know, your religious beliefs helping you. Now, I would like you to throw more light on that. How can strong religious or spiritual beliefs help someone survive addiction? Like, from your own personal experience, what would you say your journey was like? Because I'm sure before you had that encounter, you were probably an unbeliever. You know, you had no prior experience with being, you know, being delivered from anything of that sort, right? Yeah. So tell me, how was it for you? Like, you care to give us?
Morally, it helps you, and that's the major. Like we talked about, like I talked about it earlier, it separates you. You can't be in Christ and be in these places. You know, for people who think they have the strong will to do it, they can say, okay, fine, they have the will, they can do it, but they just sustain themselves on cigarette and then marijuana, you know, to keep them high, give them a certain type of highness. But it will not work eventually. So
you think that's a temporary palliative measure?
Yes, it doesn't make any sense. You eventually go back to these things because a time will come where you have the triggers, and then you need something higher than marijuana. So you can't survive on that. Yes, so yes, that's where the supernatural power comes in. The Holy Spirit has to help you, because the Holy Spirit is in everybody. You know, sometimes you have this nudge within yourself when you're with, not just in a bad community of smokers and drinkers, but you can be at a wedding grounds, you can be anywhere, and then there's this nudge, this feeling that tells you, you know, you're not supposed to be here. These are not your people. You won't be comfortable. So it tells you when you're getting there, no, leave this place, don't do this thing. You know, like it disciplines you. You know, that's what the Holy Spirit does, and everybody experiences it. So it's you surrendering yourself to God to at least do everything for you, knowing that you're not capable enough.
Okay, so how important is mental health support in addiction recovery? There's really no gainsaying that this plays a huge role or affects, you know, one's mental health in unimaginable ways, right? In what ways do you think mental health support helps in the fight against addiction?
You just have to build yourself. Like I said, my mental capacity, I had to build it. How? You see, when you're self-aware, it defeats the illusions of shame and guilt and fear and everything that comes with addiction. You know, fear tells you, can I make it again? You know, shame tells you, what do people say about me?
Doubts.
And then the regrets, doubts, thank you. So when you're self-aware, you know who you are and whose you are. You don't care what anybody says. So you build your mental capacity and love yourself. Pick yourself up, choose yourself, put yourself first. I think that's the only way.
It's actually quite interesting that you made mention of self-love, because I think that's one thing that a lot of that we don't preach enough in this part of the world.
Because when you love yourself, you're aware of yourself, you won't need validation. So you won't feel intimidated, you won't feel like you don't belong, you know, and that's what takes you there.
Okay. But are you by any means suggesting that people who take to substance abuse lack self-love?
Of course. Everyone, all of them. You think they feel they are, you know, strong mentally, but they're actually very weak when it comes to, because it's an escape from traumas and everything. So they have to build their mental capacity, and you know, healing from traumas is not you avoiding them. That's what makes you weak. It's about sitting with it, you know, absorbing it, feel every bit of it, and then see the positivity in it, so you can grow from there.
All right, if you're just joining us, it's still Flipside on Independent Television, and we're discussing overcoming substance abuse. We have to go on another very important break. The program continues afterwards. Please stay tuned. All right, welcome back. It's still Flipside on Independent Television, and Osahon Igariwa is still right here with me. Okay, now Osahon, here's a quick one. How important is mental, I think we've already examined that. What role does government policy play in helping addicts recover? First off, do you think the government is doing enough in creating the enabling environment, you know, that will help addicts break free from addiction?
Well, if you ask me, I think they're trying their best, but they're not doing enough.
Okay.
Because they have to create, I don't really know of anyone in Edo State, meaning precisely, of any free treatment facility, you know, addicts can go to for treatment. So, but they're supposed to invent, you know, things like this in ways they can help addicts, and then train individuals, you know, to get certifications in drug addiction, to be coaches. Okay. Drug addiction recovery coaches, you know, so they can do a follow-up on these people. They don't just discharge them and let them go. To who? You know, you have to call them, you know, follow up on their lives. I mean, that's the best way.
Talking about coaches, do you think we have enough coaches and mentors to go around, given the growing population of drug addicts, or should I say?
It's a pandemic now, actually.
Yeah, so do you think we have enough mentors? Because it takes a mentor sometimes, you know, to help, you know, should I say, walk you out of it, right? So do you think society has enough mentors and coaches?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. And another thing, I don't think people seek for help like that. They just want to go to rehabilitation. I think they should be coaches, because I'm a coach to one of the rehabilitation centers, just one for now, and I think they should be coaches.
Okay.
Yeah. So
you don't think we have enough just yet?
I don't think we have enough.
Okay, let's take a look at some of the coping strategies. What strategies do you think addicts can employ, you know, to overcome these menace of, you know, substance abuse, apart from some of the things that you've mentioned so far? What strategies do you think they could possibly, you know, apply?
First of all, what I noticed in that community, I'm sorry to say, but addicts are the smartest people I know.
Okay, that's a bold statement.
Yes, they're the smartest people I know, because they have, like I always say, they have a very great past, a terrible present, and a very bright future. And these people mostly are creatives. They're creators. Yes, very talented people. Okay. Very talented people.
But you think they are putting their talents to the wrong use?
Yes, there's no help per se. What was the question again?
Yes. What coping strategies do you think sufferers, addicts, you know, can employ in breaking out?
Yes, so they need to, you know, learn, I think, professional courses. Funny enough, leadership, learning personal development, and building their skills. Very, very important. They learn time management, you know, and ways to build themselves. Funny how, but that's the solution.
Wow.
That's the solution.
Okay, let's take a look at the roles of schools. How can schools help prevent drug addiction among students? Because most of these addiction situations begin in schools. And just like we established earlier, some people became addicts just by influence from, should I say peers, right? So what do you think schools can do to help prevent drug addiction among students?
Creating awareness. Going to schools, talking to
Do you think
people.
there should be rehabilitation centers in schools?
Rehabilitation centers in schools, or there should be counselors to people to counsel them, maybe professional therapists, to know their pain, because they just go to school and back. I don't know if they have those available, to know how a child is coping, what's happening at home. It's from childhood these traumas, begin. So they should really look into the children, their behaviors. Yeah.
All right. What are the long-term physical and psychological effects of drug abuse? I really don't know if there are much physical effects, but I think drug abuse, or should I say substance abuse generally, is more of a psychological thing. So,
yeah, it's a psychological thing.
Okay, so would you want to talk about that?
For me, it's just trust issues. I have trust issues because that community, it's... talking about the physical aspect to this, do you think drug, or should I say substance abusers, look pale at any point? Do they look pale? Do they look of course,
worn out?
Of course.
Is there any alteration in their appearances, physical appearances?
But when they lack sleep, they don't take good care of themselves, you don't eat well. For days you don't eat, you don't sleep. You sometimes take medications to boost the immune systems, or even blood per se. So maybe that's the physical. Yeah. So for me, the psychological effect, which is trust issues. Yeah, because coming from that environment, you deal with all sorts of betrayals every day. They can literally sell you to take anything.
Wow.
Yeah, so
how does substance abuse or drug addiction affect diet?
Your diet?
Yes. Let's say someone who used to eat a lot suddenly starts cutting down on their diet as a result of substance abuse.
It causes it. That's what causes it. It's a drastic weight loss.
Okay. So you think they take to drugs rather than food?
Of course.
So what satisfaction could they possibly derive from substance abuse that they can't get from food? Pardon me that I'm asking these questions because I really can't understand.
Well, food, what's food compared to, if I ask anyone, they say, what's your highest satisfaction and what do you really enjoy? Most people say it's, sex. But it's way
beyond that.
Beyond sex. It's not what you can, what's food compared to?
Wow. That's pretty interesting. Okay, so can social media influence affect drug culture positively or negatively?
Oh yes, it does, especially when your influencers take it, musicians and people around, most people smoke while they're, filming or doing their content, so they want to be like others, so it happens, it influences people.
So you're saying that if an influencer is involved in substance abuse, for instance, it will invariably rub off on whoever it is that looks up to them.
Yeah, that's weed.
Okay.
Marijuana. So nobody takes substance. But sometimes they sing about it and then...
okay, yeah. So they normalize it.
They normalize it, yeah, but who knows?
Okay. How can communities create supportive environments for recovering addicts?
By being that accountability partner.
Okay.
Carrying them along, holding them accountable.
When you say holding them accountable, I hope that doesn't mean judging them.
No, not at all.
Because there might be a thin line between holding people accountable and, rubbing their realities in their faces.
No, it's like a reminder. Remember who you are.
Okay.
Remember you said you're going to do this. Have you done this?
Okay.
Have you studied on, and have you done, everything you say you will do.
Okay.
Those promises you made, like a reminder.
The pledges
have you done
you've made.
This? Yes, exactly. So it's just like a reminder to carry you along.
Okay, now, what is the connection between trauma and substance abuse? I know you touched on it much earlier, right? But I would like you to elaborate. What is the connection between trauma and substance abuse? Is there any
they go hand
correlation?
In hand.
Okay.
They go hand in hand. Traumas, we all know it could be for those who were raped, for women who were raped, or a loss of a loved one, you know, that flashbacks.
Okay.
They start having flashbacks of those things and then go to taking the substance to numb that thing, or just so you don't process, like I told you. You don't have the time to process that pain.
Okay.
Yes, so it does. And while I said that, you see, in that community, for young girls, young women, I mean, who got pregnant along the line, who got pregnant without knowing whose. You know, for some time they give birth. With time they beg. They use those babies to make money, beg people, you know, for money, and then after they sell those babies. You see, it's terrible, because I doubt, but by the grace of God, if those people can actually heal from those traumas, they'll rather keep taking the substance to numb that pain. Because for me, when I got out of that situation, as I having regrets of the properties I sold, and now that I am sober and facing reality, you know, so you can imagine if, God forbid, that I sold my baby. So right now I'll be like, where's my baby? You know, knowing that I smoked the baby.
Whoa.
So it's so it's terrible. Some people can't even handle the healing, so they'll rather be there, you know, to numb the pain and smoke more, you know, to kill the traumas they create, you know, as time goes on in that community. So it worsens.
All right, the program is still Flipside on Independent Television, and we've been taking a look at recovering or overcoming substance abuse. We shall be going on another break. The program continues afterwards. Please stay tuned. Okay, welcome back. We're still discussing substance abuse, overcoming substance abuse, and Osahon Wikareva is still right here in the house with me. Now, what are the biggest challenges faced during withdrawal and recovery, Osahon? When you're trying to withdraw from substance abuse and you're trying to recover from it, what do you think are the biggest challenges that, you know, addicts face?
I don't know about others. For me, it could be for people, it can be shame, but mine is regret. I just mentioned it now. I lost everything. You know, monies I wasted, opportunities I wasted. You know, it dawned on me. So I tried to even heal from my own mistakes, healing from me, from my own mistakes, from the regrets. So that's it, regrets for me.
Regrets? Okay, so while you were trying to heal, or while you were trying to overcome, you know, you regretted what you did while you were still
the relationships I had with people, in favorable relationships, and the decisions I made. You know, I let my guard down, you know, and the things I ventured into, not crime per se, but other things that I'm not proud of. So, and then relationships I lost in the process, so I regret.
Would you say you've recovered some of those relationships so far?
With time, you know, trust. It takes time to build. They're watching. They're watching. You know, some forgave immediately and some just permanently blocked me. So
well, that's pretty much understandable.
You know, severe disappointment.
Okay, let's you know, take a look at this particular one. How can relapse be prevented after rehabilitation? You will agree with me that recovery is a very hectic process, and in some cases there is a relapse. Someone who's trying to break free, you know, probably just goes right back into it, and at that point it becomes really hard to, you know, totally break free. So how do you think, you know, relapse can be prevented after rehabilitation? After you've rehabilitated someone, you have you know, helped them overcome, how do you prevent them from going back?
You see, for my own case, then there was a time I relapsed.
Really?
The very first time, I had to relocate. I thought maybe, you know, leaving that environment, all the friends, so I just start anew. So I left my former base and then rented the apartment out, sold everything, and then just brought my clothes and my vehicle, and then relocated back to Benin. I came here.
Did that help?
Eventually, somehow we're getting there. So I sold all my properties and then started anew here.
Okay.
I registered my vehicle, started driving Uber, but Bolt, you know, it's like Uber, in case people don't know about Bolt. I woke up in the morning, 5:30, wash my car, you know, just that. So no friends. I want to be alone. I want to just start afresh.
So
and it worked for the first 3 months.
You isolated yourself.
Exactly, and it worked.
But were you still in touch with friends and family members?
No. I was with my family now.
Okay, family. Okay.
Yes, so I started the new me, new life.
Did friends try reaching out to you?
I changed my number.
Your number, wow.
I changed my contact. So I thought that was the only way, because I was doing it in my own strength. But here's why I say it's a demonic substance. It finds you. It helped me 50%, or even let's say 30 or 35%. I was doing my best, saving up money. You know, it just took one order. A rider or a client ordered my vehicle from somewhere around the borough, this vicinity, and took me to that place to get it. Well, no, when he entered my car initially, he was sweaty. I said the AC is on, it's working. Then he said, put down all the windows. I did that, and all of a sudden he was just looking everywhere, restless, you know, and then he just turned, and then the breath, I perceived it, and I was like, Jesus. Like Jesus. But just to be very honest, I said in the same words, I was like, Orema, like they've come. They
found you. Okay.
They found me. So in my head, I was like, look, okay, I'll just drop this guy off and that's it. I knew what he was up to. I didn't know he was even taking me to the spot. And he told me, look, when you get there, don't worry, I'm going to collect something from my friend's place, my cousin's place. She just wants to give me something. So just reverse, you know, face this direction, and please don't put off your engine. Just be at just wait.
Okay.
I already knew. And the way he entered, the people
and it was
going
too late
in there,
to discharge him.
And it was too late. He hasn't even paid me, and it was a return trip. I'm supposed to take him back. You know, he promised heaven and earth. He's going to tip me. He's going to do just. So I was upset, but I didn't show it. I was just telling God, what is this? What is this? So I dropped him off, you know, started, you know, continued with my life. So it just took another trigger again. That trigger, with that trigger, I took my own self to that place. And
something you have been trying to
exactly. You see, in a strange place where you don't have friends, somehow it finds you. That's why I said you have to do it to the Holy Spirit. You know, God has to be in it. He has to help you. So he took me. I took myself there, and the rest is history. In fact, that's where I eventually got my own, where God saved me from, and then taught me everything I know now.
Okay.
In that community.
All right, that was a very brilliant and touching story, I must say. Now, do you think that rehabilitation centers are accessible and affordable to everyone?
I think so, but it's quite expensive. It's quite expensive, and that's why the government needs to come in.
To subsidize it and make it
Yes, exactly, and make it free.
Okay.
Even possible, and it's not just taking those treatments. What next? You know, after that, you have to keep their mind busy. They learn skills, you know, things to improve them mentally.
Okay.
Not just taking medications and then sleep, flush the systems, and when they leave there, you know, they go back to the vices. So, you should make it affordable. But for now, I don't think, because I don't think it's cheap.
Okay. How can recovered addicts inspire others battling with addiction? I guess that's pretty much what you are doing right now.
I'm doing now.
But in what ways are you inspiring people, you know, out there beyond, you know, granting an interview like this on TV? What other ways do you think others are learning from you?
Okay, I'm trying to put an awareness out there that,
do you run
the
an
stigma.
NGO?
No, I'm planning
on doing that. Okay.
Doing that.
Okay. So go on.
So I'm trying to create an awareness. I'm creating an awareness rather that to remove that stigma. It's everywhere. I want people to be able to talk about it. Yeah, I was on drugs. I was addicted. Yeah, there won't be anything.
Now, which brings me to the next question. Why do you think people find it hard to share their stories, just like you are doing right now?
They won't grant me jobs. I won't find the right partner because they're going. Everybody will think I will relapse. People will think I'm a criminal, that I can steal, I can do this or that, because you can just switch any moment. You can just be with that person, and the next thing, that's the same thing causing it.
Okay.
Where people do not trust you, now they want you to dwell in it. But people have to trust you again and bring you in to have that sense of responsibility and then relevance that you can actually contribute and do something. Not when you say, because it's very bad. When you don't make any sense, they say, okay, it's that. And when you make sense, people are going to be like, wow, you had a good hit today, good stuff. So you say it's terrible. You don't even know what to.
Either way.
Yes, either way you're useless.
You're still
Do you guess? It's terrible. So people should come out, and be like this, like, okay, just like you had malaria, come out and say it. I was addicted. It shouldn't be anything, because it's a pandemic.
It is.
It's even reducing now. Because 12 years.
Is it reducing? Because I think
it is.
If you're quite active on social media, you must have seen that a lot of young people of this age are given to all sorts of new substance, from colos to
terrible.
You get, to what's the other one called, methamphetamine or something of that nature. Just they go by different name. Exactly, and all of these are a lot of them are new. I don't know, maybe not so new.
Not so new,
but they are really popular now. Do you understand?
Yes.
And most of these young people depend on them, to keep sane. So, how do you think these young people deal with all of this?
It's terrible. I'll just advise, because there's something about this thing I noticed, this demonic substance. It's actually demonic.
Okay.
There is something it does. It concentrates on you, the individual. It's like a feminine demon. It's just like a god. That's why God is against it. Serve no other person but me. He wants your attention. I'm going to give you the money. You'll spend everything you make buying me. Do whatever it takes, crime, whatever it is, bring it back to me. Stay away from friends, family, even your children, your life. Surrender it to me. And there's one funny thing it does. It concentrates on you to ruin you, but nobody should mock you.
Wow.
Or it goes to that person. I noticed, because in that place where people around mocked addicts, somehow their own kids snuck in to get some things out. So it's everywhere, funny enough. If it's not your immediate family, there's one distant uncle somewhere. So it's a pandemic. It affects everybody. Like, everyone has that one person in your family doing this thing. So it's terrible. Did I answer your question?
Yes, you did. Do you think drug addiction could be hereditary?
If it's what you grew up seeing.
Okay.
Yes, it's even a type of trauma. Witnessing things and violence.
Like when a child grows up in a whole substance abuse constantly.
Yes, it's very possible, because it's everywhere. Sometimes kids can even put the sponge from your stems in their mouth, and it's what they're used to. You send them to buy cigarettes. They know how to do these things, so it's nothing new with them. So they just start it.
Okay, but you don't think it's something that can be passed through genetics, so to speak?
Traumas.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an extension. Your parent dealing with trauma, numbing the pain, and then transferring that trauma to the child, and then numbing it, and then your kids seeing you doing the same thing. Excuse me.
All right, it's still Flipside on Independence Television. We're discussing overcoming substance abuse. Now, this is our final break on the show. When we return, The program continues. Please stay tuned.
ITV.
ITV, certainly the best.
All right, welcome back. It's still Flipside on Independent Television, and Osaho Igareva is still right here with me, and we're examining the need to overcome substance abuse. Now, these are the final questions, okay, and this is actually the final lap of the program. Should former addicts, or what can be done to embolden former addicts, you know, to share their stories and, of course, to inspire other addicts, you know, to break free from drug addiction?
I'll advise they become the mirror, an advocate, like what I'm doing. You know, everybody's shying away from it because you don't want to be judged or seen differently.
You think that's the reason they don't come out to share their stories?
I think so. Because they think maybe some positions will be held back, you know, from them, or, you know, some advantages, or, you know, how people view you in the society, you know, because of relapse. You know, people don't just, you know, take you seriously. So they want to be seen in a certain image. So I want to create that awareness, like, you know, it's nothing. It's actually everywhere. It's everywhere.
Okay.
I'm continuing from what I was saying. Parents, please, you know, because don't mock. Don't mock anybody taking this thing. Like I just said to the demon, if you mock it, it comes to you somehow. I mean, spiritually, you know, so don't mock. You see anyone going through this, just say a silent prayer for them. You know, say a prayer. And you don't know who your kids are with. So they're coming for the Easter holiday. Easter just passed, or when? When is Easter?
No, still,
any holidays at all, just surprise them.
Okay.
Follow them to the bathroom. Pee in this thing, and let's go and do that test. You'll be shocked what you'll see in there. You know, run a test.
Okay.
You know, you don't know what these kids are up to. They started, you know, popping pills, taking one or two things. So it will help so that embarrassing situation doesn't come to your home.
All right, let's take a look at the trust issues that you raised a moment ago. How do you think, should I say addicts now, or those that have finally overcome, how do you think they can eventually gain the trust of their loved ones, the people around them? Because you made mention of the fact that it takes a lot for everyone around you to begin to trust you again, right? So what do you think addicts can do to earn the trust of people around them?
For me, I am self-aware.
Okay.
When you're self-aware, you don't really care what anyone thinks. The thing is, just be the better version of yourself. Anyone can have any, you know, opinions about you, so they'll see it eventually. Time does tell. So concentrate on you, build yourself again, and the right people will come, the right connections will come. You can have new connections again, new friends again, you know. You build a new life and people start trusting you again. You don't force it. You don't force connections. You don't force it. Just concentrate on building yourself. Be aware. Be self-aware that you are more, that you are able. You did it before, you do it again. Because you've obviously had a very good past to tell yourself you are meant for more. You could do it again.
All right. Be self-aware and believe that you've done it before and you can do it again.
Yeah.
Now, what's your final word for young people out there who are still neck deep into, you know, substance abuse, and they don't even, it doesn't seem like there is hope for them? So what's your advice for such people, or people around them who have probably given up on them?
What I just said. Self-awareness. Most people don't have it, because in a world where everyone wants to wear masks, they need validation. You need people to applaud you. Just believe in yourself. You don't need validation from anyone. For me, I don't even care if any family member or anybody wants to root for me. I believe in my path and I'm following it, because I really don't have the support from family or any system, because they've all given up.
Okay.
So I'll advise you, while you still have people, the youth out there, while you still have people who believe in you,
okay,
who still root for you, who still show you love, please believe in yourself and stop. And if you were thinking of starting, don't even start.
Don't start. It's better not to start.
It's a journey you do not come back from. You know, nobody tells you, okay, just test it to see. No, that testing that's it. Just one pull, you're out.
Whoa.
So don't even think of it. The Colorado, the Canadian Loud, or even cigarette. Look, there is nothing in there. Love yourself. Validate yourself. Tell yourself you're more. Your time will come. You're not late on anything. You know, the rush and everything. I'm 40 and I'm starting my life again at 40. I lost everything. A decade and some years of my life. I literally lost everything, and I'm grateful. And I'm grateful to God that at least I am not where I used to be. It is more than enough.
Okay. Now, there's really no doubt that yours is quite an inspiring story. And I'm sure there are loads of people out there who are learning a thing or two from what you've said so far. Now, I would like you to speak to family members that have written off or that have passed a vote of no confidence on, you know, certain of their members, right? For instance, this is a stigma. It's a problem that most families don't want to associate with. And once this is discovered in some families, they just write you off completely. So what's your advice for families who have written off, you know, one of their own as a result of drug addiction?
Please, don't blame them. I'll give you an instance. You see, while I was in that place, I just got there, you know, one of the times I visited and I saw this man. He's an evangelist, I can't mention names.
Okay.
He's elderly.
Okay.
So apparently at that time his wife was hospitalized, so he was actually going to buy food when an alert entered his phone.
Okay.
And he told himself, maybe, I don't know who, you know, maybe they reach out to people to help them out. And then he said, he told himself he was just going to do 30 minutes in, out, maybe use part of the money. And as at the time I saw him, he was complaining. He had already switched his phone off because calls were coming in. The food he didn't get, nothing, he was just there. And you know, that was the 5th hour. He was there sitting and still smoking. So people just tag them, oh, irresponsible, they've given up, you know, things like this, and irresponsible, but it's not their fault. They don't even know what they're doing. There was a time in my life I had an appointment, I was going there, you know, and an alert came. Okay. The first thing you see money, it's a demonic thing because it's not normal. It's not a normal thing.
So that's really worrisome because imagine, you know, getting an alert
immediately
and the first thing that comes to your mind is
appointment and then went back home, called the dealer, came to meet me, and then I was crying doing it. And the Holy Spirit minister, he said, this thing you're doing, you know you will regret it. And they were calling me, where are you, where are you? I just switched off my phone. You see, those abnormal behaviors, they'll think you're crazy. Like this person said you're on your way and you're not coming again. Those things, they are actually normal, but they cannot control it.
I see why
it's beyond their control.
I see why you said it's a spiritual thing.
It's a spiritual thing.
All right, thank you so much, Osahon Igariwa, for your very, very interesting and you know, insightful expose. I'm sure, just like they say, word is enough for the wise. So there are so many persons out there right now, probably watching you and taking notes. I'm hoping that this has touched them positively in one way or the other. Well, the program has been Flipside on Independent Television, and we've been taking a look at overcoming substance abuse. Well, just like Osahon has said, it's better not to start at all than to start looking for a way to break free.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's nothing good about substance abuse, absolutely nothing. Okay, so if you are thinking of going into, you know, drug abuse or whatever it is, just know that you are embarking on a journey of no return. My name is Harry Aigboje, and until I come your way again, same time, same station next week, do the right thing, stay out of trouble, and have yourself a beautiful day ahead. Bye for now.
ITV, certainly the best.
Certainly the best.